était de faire la médecine pour soigner les autres. Il y avait le chasseur, on avait tout ça. Et c'était organisé. C'est la rencontre avec l'Occident qui s'est là. Et là, on a commencé à avoir une déstructuration de la valeur de travail d'une part, mais une diminution de la hiérarchie. Parce que ce que l'on frappe, ce qui frappe dans nos villages, c'est quoi? C'est la leadership. Mais le chef, c'est parce que la politique est venue mettre tout ça. Mais le chef est incontestable. Le chef, c'était le chef. Et la façon dont on devenait chef montrait justement que le leadership était incontestable. Et incontestable. Soit vous étiez chef par naissance, soit vous étiez chef parce que le pays, le village a décidé que vous êtes chef. Et donc tout le monde reconnaît que c'est le chef. En fait, mes amis, c'est la rencontre avec l'Occident qui s'est passée. Et de ce point de vue, nous devons rendre hommage à l'histoire. Je vous invite à lire Elie Mazouli. Je vous invite à lire Elijah Bokolo, qui sont d'illustres africains, qui ont le courage de vous dire ce que notre continent a fait contre notre continent. Il faut le dire. Bon, mais en même temps, je ne donne pas les Occidentaux, hein, parce que franchement, ils ont totalement déstructuré nos pays, notre façon de raisonner, etc. Mais vraiment, nous devons aujourd'hui, et c'est en cela qui nous invite, nous devons aujourd'hui reconquérir notre valeur de travail, reconquérir notre espace de leadership. Parce que ce qu'il dit là est d'une pertinence affligeante. Si demain vous avez le courage de dire, n'élisez pas ce monsieur parce que c'est un voleur, qui en a dit ça? Nous tous on sait qu'on est des voleurs tous les jours. On le sait. Dès qu'on commence à dire c'est compliqué, c'est là où les problèmes du leadership rentrent. Dès qu'on commence à dire c'est compliqué, ça veut dire qu'on n'a pas, comme Obama disait, yes we can. Est-ce qu'on peut? Je crois que ceci est extrêmement important parce que ce sont des débats lourds qui nous engagent, nous tous. Et nous devons regarder ça avec la justesse nécessaire et l'objectivité nécessaire. Je vous le dis tout le temps, quand vous rentrez, c'est vous qui aurez les choses en main, c'est ce que je vous souhaite. Comment vous allez gérer le continent? Comment vous allez gérer le pays? Comment vous allez gérer vos ministères? Comment vous allez gérer vos directions? Comment vous allez gérer vos services? Si vous ne commencez pas là, pour qu'il y ait une sédimentation jusqu'au sommet du pouvoir, on n'y arrivera pas. Si on dit toujours, on ne peut pas. Oh, c'est compliqué. On ne fera rien. Or, précisément, il faut qu'on commence à faire un jour quelque chose. Je crois que c'est. Je voulais juste ajouter ça pour contribuer à ce qu'a dit.
The question. When you say why don't we train those who are leading us, you know, a lot of effort has been made to train leaders in Africa. My first job has been to train directors of companies. I've been involved in training permanent secretaries and some ministers. But the biggest challenge, and that's why we're bringing the three parties together, is that even if I'm trained and I know what to do, and I'll give you the example of churches or mosques. If you don't hold the people to account, the English saying is power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So what we've been doing is we appoint people as politicians. They know the right thing, but we give them absolute power. You cannot ask the president why he's getting a second wife, why he's keeping a mistress, and you know. Now, and he goes to the church or to the mosque and sits in front and tells you, you cannot. If you can't ask him, why are you doing it yourself? Then we allow impunity. So the democratic principles that are spearheaded in your governance instruments in Cameroon, how do we make sure that our leaders adhere to those rules? And I'm now saying it is not the leaders, it is also us. Most of our leaders know the right thing to do. Why don't they do it? We have allowed impunity. We don't hold them to account. So I'll answer that. Now, you then say brain drain. I'm sure you're aware that the heads of state in Africa actually led by President Wadi of Senegal, created the framework for bringing all our best brains. But let's also accept that we need our people to penetrate China, to penetrate Europe, to penetrate every other continent so that we can sell. If you want to export vegetables, which we do, and you get them to London, and they're being received by somebody who is not known to you, he will tell you they arrived here rotten when they arrived in very good shape. But you don't have the, but if your brother is there and he says they arrived well, now I'm not saying that we, brain drain in Africa, we still have some of the best brains in the continent. And no country has developed through isolationist policies. China, India had some of their best scientists working with America producing the nuclear bombs. Then they went back and took the technology to their country. So sometimes it's not good to just say we are brain. I'm sure if we looked at the Cameroon, sometimes we may be talking about the problem is not the brain drain. It is the brains in the drain. What do I mean by that? We have men and women of very high caliber we are not using efficiently and effectively to develop the solutions for our countries. So, I hope I've dismissed the brain. Now, my colleague here said to work with the young lady.
I'm sorry to disturb you. I think that
Oh, you are seeing something there.
Make a difference. So if you are old, about to be retired, if you are a lady,
don't have the policies to guide it. People are operating in a vacuum, and people can easily say, well, I didn't know. Sometimes people will say, well, I received a bribe. I didn't know it was against the law. Yeah, right. So those are some of the things that we have to look at, but it's not good enough to just develop a policy. We have to be able to make sure people understand what that policy is supposed to achieve. Because there's no reason, there's no point in saying, well, you can't sell this bottle of water past its date of expiry if your consumer doesn't know it. Because then as a trader, I can just go and sell it to anyone. So people have to know and understand what those policies are supposed to entail. As part of our capacity building, we're looking at regional but also national systems that and corporate capacity to be able to implement the best practice. We're looking at advocacy to sensitize, motivate, and also influence policymakers. Most of the people that are in here, as I understand it, are working in government. They're working with government.
yes.
So you are the policymakers. What we want to look at is how are you as a policymaker making your decision? How informed are you? Because as you set your policy, you're putting together a roadmap that will direct your countries in the next 20, 30 years. What are the things that you're doing now that will ensure your grandchild will actually be able to enjoy the benefit of the wealth you're creating today? What policies are you putting in place? Or are you just putting in place or adhering to policies that help me as an individual today? I'm not even thinking about my great-grandchild. We're looking at training and education. Like I said, we're looking at regional and national corporate capacity to implement, apply good corporate citizenship by facilitating the range of training and policy discussions that will help to make sure that we are all making informed decisions. Research and development. Most of the times I think as Africans we don't take time to study and understand why are things happening. Yes, we look back and say, oh, the good old days were better. But most of the times, what are the lessons that we've learned? How are we documenting that? Is there a way that someone coming in can be able to understand why you took certain decisions? So we want to also encourage research and development. But we also want to make sure that whatever we're developing, we're able to have an information base that provides people with the tools and be able to document everything that we have. But also be able to put it. But sometimes, like we were coming here to Cameroon, we couldn't easily get the visa requirements. What do you need when you're going to Cameroon? You can't easily find that. And then one of my colleagues actually downloaded a form and went to the embassy in South Africa and he was told, no, this is supposed to be for the UK. Now, as an African, if I'm coming to Cameroon and I can't download the form, and yet the form online is supposed to serve the people in the UK, how are we encouraging our intra-trade? Because if I can't come to Cameroon, then I don't know what is going on here. If you can't come to Malawi, you need a visa, there's no embassy in Malawi, how do you process that? And it becomes a nightmare. We were running around trying to get a visa on arrival when the professor was coming to Malawi, and we had to actually have someone at the airport just to make sure they don't turn him back on the flight and say, no, he is allowed to get into the country. It becomes hard. Whereas if I was traveling to the UK, I know I'll go in, fill the forms, these are the photos, this is how much I pay, and then it's done. So that's part of the other things that we're trying to look at, is how are we sharing that information of good practice when it comes to business, not just on other. Now, like I said, the primary objective is to look.
To make more people aware about education. But you see, if you talking about education, if you decide just to teach people, that is, you have a book.
In my domain.
In your domain. What is your domain?
Economy.
Economy. Okay. You have a book. There's a microeconomics, isn't it?
Yes.
You have a book. You go inside the book, you read the book, and you come to your student and just, let's say, let them get what you have read, what you read from the book. Is it what you are saying?
And the importance. Why?
And the importance.
The importance of unity. The discipline. I teach them and make them to know the importance of being the subject and what impact the subject have in their life for now or in the future. That's why we should develop in that capacity.
Somebody else? Est-ce que quelqu'un d'autre? Comment je peux changer? Qu'est-ce que je fais moi pour faire partie du changement?
Oui, je suis.
In English, quand même. Comment je me débrouille dans les deux? Faites.
I'm Mr. Bono. I'm Cameroonian. I think that the first thing is to start to do well my job. It's the first. Because when I do my job correctly, the effect can improve every people. Because I take some example. When I stop to do correctly my job, for me, for example, I'm working to the Ministry of Economy. When I don't do well my job, the consequence is affected the people. So when I do well my job and I transmit, I become a model. It's fine because when I become a model, young people who come after me can copy and do something.
The training program you listed in your expose, all that program are addressed to the challenge of that AICC improve. How do the AICC recommendation and key assumptions are taken into account a developed public policy system of management? Are that training program the interaction case?
Just a few minutes. I'm a lady born in Africa, raised in Africa, educated in Africa, but I'm white. But my heart is African. So I just want to remind you of history. There was a man called Mahatma Gandhi, one man that brought down the British Empire in India, and he didn't fire a single shot from a gun. One man and the entire British Empire went down in India. How did he do that? He believed in himself, and he cared enough about what was around him to want to make that difference. What I'm saying is that if you have the desire within you for something, you know, if you meet a special woman, the desire is there, you want to meet her, you want to talk to her, you want to take her, yeah, make her your wife. If you don't have the desire inside, you can't achieve anything. So first you have to become aware of what it is that you want to change. Believe in yourself that you can do it, and create the desire that will give you the impetus, the action to do it. And you will achieve it. You will, because history shows that individuals change the world. People do change the world. The world doesn't change us. It's our actions that cause the reactions of life. So I just wanted to share that with you and say thank you for your time.
The fish, Captain. Good, thank you.
Oui, c'est pas plus
Yesu Kristo